Hey everyone, I'm Cecil Laird.
Jaime and Fuego here.
And this is your horror show news with booze once again. Guys, we are on a limited time today because we are about to rush off to finally watch our early screening of The Dark Tower. So it's a very light week today, this week. So let's just jump right into it. Fuego, what do we got?
So the first and biggest story this week, and it shows you how thin this week's just haul of information is the fact that there is a Nightmare Before Christmas sequel comic series which is currently in development by Tokyopop, and it's entitled Zero's Journey. So presumably this is going to be following Mr. Skellington's Doggy Dog and continuing the story to some degree. Details are pretty scant, but it's kind of funny at the fact that it's taken this long to get some sort of continuation of the story, especially with how popular the series is, right?
I guess so. Yeah, the popularity never really made a lot of sense to me. I guess it's okay. I was never a huge fan of it, so...
I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
I didn't remember that you're not the biggest fan.
Yeah, not the biggest fan. Don't really like the songs. Don't really care for the story's okay, but it just never struck a nerve with me. So this is like great for those fans, but this is not for me.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, this was one that when I was a kid, my mom would not let me see because I still remember like the trailer where the kid opens up the present and there's like a head in there or something. So she thought it was demonic and evil and so on. I do quite like the series, but I'm not like crazy fanatical about it. But yeah, you guys have that to look forward to in the spring of 2018. So prepare yourselves, Nightmare Before Christmas freaks.
Yeah, I'll bet a lot of you guys are going to be way more excited about that than I am. So more power to you.
There you go.
That'll bring us to the next story today, which is all about Eli Roth developing a series for AMC that is all about the history of horror. So it's a history of horror TV series that's going to be running in 2008, and it's going to be a 6-part series.
Correct.
Now, do we know exactly what the history of horror is referring to?
He's basically going to trace it all the way back to the origins of the genre. Like I'm assuming, early 19th century, if not even before, and he's going to be talking with all kinds of new people, all kinds of old people, and it's going to be him essentially just doing a documentary and talking with different biggies in the history and in the genre itself. So,
as someone that loves documentaries and the horror genre, this is right up my alley. I'm actually quite excited about this. Yeah, and Eli Roth, he can be hit or miss, see our Green Inferno review for that, or
Knock Knock,
but at the same time, he did Hostel and Cabin Fever, which I really liked.
I love Cabin Fever, man.
But and he was fun in Inglourious Basterds as the Bear Jew.
Exactly, I don't think you can really question his dedication to the genre, though. So maybe that's one of the reasons why somebody like him is perfect for this. And then there's also going to be a similar series that James Cameron is doing about science fiction, and then apparently Mr. Robert Kirkman is also going to be doing something about the history of comics. So AMC has all of these documentary series they're lining up for next year, which is pretty dope, I think. So and educate yourselves.
Yeah, it's super exciting. But if that's true, if all of this is something AMC is doing, that's leading right into the next story, which is yet another series AMC is doing. Go ahead, what's that about?
Yeah, so the next one is going to be the fact that Greg Nicotero, who has really seen some notoriety with working on The Walking Dead, obviously, but he has decided to partner with AMC to co-create a series called Shock Theater, which is going to be just his homage to the B-movies and anthology series of back in the day, like The Outer Limits and Twilight Zone and things of that nature. So this is apparently a passion project of his. He's going to be directing episodes and executive producing it. Details are kind of limited beyond that, but I guess AMC had just this whole slate of new stuff that they announced, and Nicotero does amazing practical and stuff on The Walking Dead. He's directed a lot of episodes of that show at this point, and pretty much the driving force of that series currently, right?
Him and Scott Gimple, the showrunner. But yeah, no, that's exciting. I like all that stuff. I don't know that I have as much of a fondness for it as a lot of people do with that older, schlocky 70s sort of horror, but I'm game to see it. I like Greg Nicotero's work, so I'm absolutely pumped to see what he could do as far as that goes, because he never fails to disappoint, or he never fails to. He never disappoints, never fails to impress when it comes to his work on The Walking Dead.
Oh, so. yeah, absolutely. And I just love anthology horror storytelling and, bring a sci-fi slant to it. those are my two favorite subgenres to combine together: sci-fi and horror. Love it.
Yeah, exactly. So what do we got after that? Is the next one for me?
Next one could be for you.
Yeah,
I know
sure,
you were
why
a fan
not?
of the film, if I remember right.
I was,
right?
in fact.
Yeah.
So the next one is the news that we got from Mark Duplass saying that Creep 2 has officially wrapped filming and will be coming soon. Now, if you don't know, Creep was a movie that was on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it's still there or not.
I'm not sure if it is either.
But
worth seeking out.
We
regardless.
spoke about. I think Marcia and I talked about it on our podcast at one point. So you guys can seek that out if you want to know our opinions on that film. But it was pretty interesting. It was pretty. It had a good ending, but very weird. Mark Duplass was appropriately creepy. So. I'd be interested to see what's up with this weirdo in a sequel. Are they going to try and go big or stay sort of low-key like the first one was? I don't know, but I would be interested to see.
Yeah, the original one was a found footage-y kind of thing, I guess you could say. There was this weird guy who was played by Duplass, and going against type for me because I'd seen him in The League, and he's just a goofball on that. So seeing him be a creep, hence the name, was really intriguing. He's running around with this crazy, werewolf type mask at one point and stuff, but yeah, he's total just making this filmmaker who he hires to assist him with I guess chronicling his life as he claims to be terminally ill and so on. But very cool twist ending, and I'm curious if this sequel is going to have him bringing on another filmmaker or what the angle is going to be.
I imagine it would have to be if they're continuing with the found footage thing. But maybe they won't. Who knows?
Yeah. Who the hell knows? But I thought the original Creep was fantastic. It was a weird, just very strange little gem. And seeing Duplass once again act like a weirdo was pretty awesome. I laughed. I was creeped out, and yeah, pretty effective. And now we're gonna be to our last story, guys. Yeah, and this is even pulling at straws because Cecil isn't always fond of us discussing casting stuff. But there was, the weekend after Comic-Con, it was all of the studios, they shot their loads last week, and so there was pretty much very little to talk about this week. Bless you, sir. So for the new upcoming season of American Horror Story, they just made mention that Kathy Bates is out, so she, after being on the show for the last few seasons, is not going to be returning. However, with Scream Queens being canceled, it's kind of ironic that Ryan Murphy is bringing back Miss Emma Watson, so she is
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts, okay. Watson is the chick from Harry
Hermione,
Potter,
yeah.
right? Okay. Derbs. Okay, Emma Roberts. Yes. So she is going to be making a return. I was amused by her bitchiness, especially in the Coven season. So I think this is a cool addition. What's your thoughts?
Yeah.
Do you even care?
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Emma Roberts has never been my favorite in any of the seasons, so. And she bothered me a lot in the second season of Scream Queens. So we'll see. She's the same thing in virtually everything that she's in to me.
She does always play that same kind of snarky, quippy, kind of cliquey girl. So
right.
Yeah.
So there's only so much excitement I can get, and also since I don't know why it's suddenly not called Election, but I know that's the theme, and so I just don't. Yeah. I'm just not that pumped about this season.
No, me neither. Especially with how much I liked Roanoke. I thought Roanoke was unique and interesting, and the whole clown aspect in this, I don't know. But last bit of information is another casting call, and that's the fact that for this Neil Marshall Hellboy movie, which is currently being developed, it's called Hellboy Rise of the Blood Queen, they just added one of my favorite actors, Mr. Ian McShane, and he is playing a guy called Professor Broom. Do you know who the hell this character is? Because I don't. From Hellboy. Professor
I'm sure I've seen him in the comics, but I don't remember exactly what his role was. It's been a long time since I've read the comics. So.
Okay. So yeah, Ian McShane, I've loved the dude basically since the HBO man opera Deadwood that I adored so much, and then most recently, dude, he's been fantastic on American Gods. Have you had the chance to check that out?
I haven't yet. No, but he was good in the little bit of Game of Thrones that he was in recently. I think so. Yep. Last season he was there for a little bit. And then anytime he shows up in any movie, the John Wick series, he's great in.
I didn't even realize he was in that because I still haven't watched either John Wick movie.
Yeah, he's great. He's an excellent actor, so I'm excited about anything that he does, especially if it's a new Hellboy movie.
Yeah, man, nothing wrong with adding talent, and so that's a little bit of casting carousel here at the very end because, it was a slow week for news, guys. I wish we had more to inform you about, but unfortunately there just wasn't anything out there.
You guys are getting a ton of reviews this week from us.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on Friday, which you are, then you know that our Kidnap review just went up this morning, and our Dark Tower review just went up on Wednesday night. So
that's what we're off to right now.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of good stuff to watch on the channel. We're going to be doing our very first, well, not our very first, but it'll be about our third Metal Monday, but our very first presentation of a live band on the channel, where Fuego's band Chiron did a show opening for OTEP just a few weeks ago, and I got to film it. So we will be presenting that this coming Monday as you guys watch this on Friday.
Thanks for the shout out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
so stay tuned for that. It's exciting, and I hope everyone watches it because it came out pretty good, if I do say so myself.
I agree. Yes, it did.
So thank you guys very much for watching. Let us know in the comments down below which news story you're most excited about. But until next time, I'm Cecil Laird.
Gracias a Jaime and Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.